friends, welcome back to the final game of the Nottingham Minors tournament, called Minor as in Minor League tournament, which was in Nottingham in February. Finally got around to this final game. I am unexpectedly on top table for the second tournament in a row, he brags. This is not because I'm great at the game. So, just to be clear, it is due to matchups and coincidence. So, this is my list. I've gone over it in game one if you're interested in a more detailed run through, but it's a set of twos. So, double mutant, double face, Twilight Kin, obviously. Double mutants, very fast hitty thing. Double phantoms, chaff, flying, very good. Double impalers, big shield, defense 6 from the front, not bad in combat. Only a single soul flare, but I've got one. A Mind Screech in the Planar Apparition flavour, which I believe tastes like vanilla. Whereas obviously the shooty one tastes like chocolate. Double Terror, Summon a Crone with Hex and Weakness, and double Soul Vein on Nightmare. Just pretty dread and inspiring, a little bit of punch and very, very good. So 13 units, 23 units strength. I haven't taken any command dice. There are command dice being used at this tournament because the Twilight Kin command orders focus on Chromebound stuff, which I have a lot of, and Dread, which I have a lot of. So, yeah, just taking the standard 3 red dice. So, off we go. I am on the top table, and I am against Florence. Florence has been playing her Trident Realm. So this is her Trident Realm list. A very pretty Trident Realm list. It looks extremely nice, as you will see. All Mantic. So double Ensnarer Hordes, very chunky. Double Placoderm Regiments, so quite grindy already. These have been given Guard of the Trident King, which gives them a unit strength 4 each, which is very chunky. Phalanx is extremely good against my mutants, who are obviously only got Thunderous Charge, and I don't have any Bane Chant in my list. A horde of Worm Riders. Now I wanted to spend some time pointing out to people how bloody good Worm Riders are. I mean, they are 10 points more than mutants. Let's compare them to mutants, because it's a fair comparison, right? So mutants are speed 7, wild charge D3. Okay, these are flat speed 8. Okay, so a guaranteed charge up to 16, whereas mutants charge 15 to 17. They're both melee 3. Mutants do have elite. They're both defense 4. They're both unit strength 3. They both have 20 attacks. Mutants are 14, 17. Worm Riders are 16, 18. And height 4 compared to height 2. So you can see over hills. They have Crush 1 compared to Thunder 2. They're nimble with Pathfinder and Regen 4+ on a 16, 18 nerve. I think these are beastly. I mean, if they weren't so irritating to build, I mean, you can print them now, right? This is a great unit, terrifying unit to face. Why are people worried about mutants? Anyway, moving on. She's got a horde of Riverguard Dambusters, who are these speed 7 flying guys, who are giving them sharpness to make them melee 3, so another very, very punchy unit. Double Tidal Swarms, which are scouting chaff, with Ensnare and a dash 12 nerve, which is very, very good. Got the Nocken Shepherd upgrade, which gives them this shooting attack, I believe, of Tide Spray, which is a 12-inch shooting attack, piercing one. Very good. Only 6 though, 6 attacks. Coral Giant, again, just fantastic giant. I think one of the best, if not the best giant. Looking at that, I mean, speed 7, 16, 18, defense 5, brutal, crush 3, ensnare. I mean, ensnare on giants is great. Ask me, I've got terrors. Iron Resolve, Strider, and Slayer. Yeah, pretty great. Coral Giants, I think they're super, super good. A Thule Aquamage with, so Rising Tides. I can't remember what Rising Tides does, guys. Nope, I literally cannot remember. Oh, maybe that's the Aura of Wild Charge. It's the Aura of Wild Charge. So it's the Aura of Wild Charge, just generically for everyone. So those Worm Riders can now charge just as far as my mutant. I'm not complaining. Barkskin and Host Shadow Beast. So not bad. Barkskin is very, very powerful on ensnaring units, of course, especially low defense ensnaring units like ensnarers. Host Shadow Beast, meaning that the Thule Aquamage is tasty in combat occasionally when needs be. Ector, best hero in the game. I mean, excuse me. Oh my goodness, where did that come from? Defense 6 heroes are just ludicrous. Anyway, defense 6 heroes with Ensnare and Phalanx. Outrageous. A damaging Wind Blast 8, which doesn't really come into the game, to be honest. I can't even remember Ector in this game. Oh, I do actually know where he is. Okay. Trident King. You can take a variety of upgrades, but Florence is taking the King of Midicynth, which is an aura of elite for Royal Guard. The Royal Guard here being placoderms, so they are elite, those blacks, which is very good. Makes up for their melee 4 and 15 attacks. 15 is pretty good, isn't it? And then a River Guard Dambuster Sentinel who has the Pond Warden upgrade. Don't know what that gives. Something. Oh, maybe the nerve to 13, 15 possibly. Yeah. Crush 2, Fly, Speed 7. Nice, 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 and nice. So, 13 units, same as me, and 28 unit strength. It's a tasty list. I think it's good. And you will, if you saw the last battle report, recognise this table, which still has the tokens from last time on it. Because that is the screenshot from last time. Yeah. Whoops. Anyway. We're playing Control. Ignore those tokens. I've just used the same thing. I've got to move it off. It doesn't matter. It's the same table. That's why I forgot. You see the Ratkin is still there, top right from last battle report. We're not playing Plunder. We're playing Control. So Control being when you split the board into 6 segments, handily denoted by these buildings. Like yay. It's 1 point each segment you control at the end of the game and 2 points for the opposing segment to you in the centre. I hate Control, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, not because it's a bad scenario, because I am not clever enough at the end of a game to work out what goes where, and I inevitably end up losing. Let's see if it happens in this game. So off we crack. So this is the same thing twice, so we end up deploying thusly. I can't remember who takes which side. All that's important, we end up like this. So, I have deployed exactly the same as the last game, because after all, it worked, right? I want to be crushing in here, smashing in here, ignoring over here. Okay, and pretty much exactly the same layout on both sides. So if you don't enjoy repetition, then this is not fun for you. So I've got impalers here, right? So one to come here, one to come here. For that defense 6, I've got both terrors here. Last time I sent one that way, one this way. See what I do this time. This is my planar apparition. Here's my summoner crone. This is one of the soulbanes, and then we have both mutants here, and then over to the side we have got soulbane phantom and soul flayers, and then we have one phantom down there. Okay. So Florence, in response to that, so she's got, this is a tidal swarm and this is a tidal swarm, so bookending the deployment. This is Ector, right? And then so this left hand, very punchy side, these are the Dambusters. No, they're not. They're the Worm Riders. Sorry. This is the Dambuster Sentinel to go with them. This is one of the Placoderms, right? And then in the center, we've got one Ensnarer Horde here and one Ensnarer Horde here to come and do exactly what I'm trying to do, exactly the same. This one is the Coral Giant, which is very nicely painted for what is the worst model ever. These are the Dambusters. And then the Trident King is here with the other placoderms. Alright. So pretty obvious. It's going to be a hold off here, swing round and smash. And I'm going to be doing hold off here and swing round and smash. So the swing round and smash from Florence is going to be a lot more effective because there's just a phantoms to hold them off. So here's models, which are very nice. Very nice, actually. Nicely painted. And there's my phantom. All on its own, all its lone self, and here's my army. Want to have a look at that? There you go. Still haven't decided what to paint on Mikael's shield here, because he's not Mikael, he's a Soulbane and Nightmare, because it's just not worth paying the points for Mikael when you can have a Soulbane for the same, pretty much the same thing. Yep, and that's everyone else down the end, like I told you. Holding out for that horde of mutants, because I've made a thing that goes together. They're 2 regiments, don't worry about that. These are scout because Tyler Swarm's scout, so scouted up there and scouted up there, which is a mistake. And let's show you why, because I win first turn. So I push forward on this side. There is some shooting here. So it's shooting from the Trident King, shooting from Ector, right? That's bad for these guys. We just have to hope we live through it for 1 turn and then we get to hit things, right? So rather than last time I sent the Terror this way, I really need to be crushing in the middle here. So I've sent both Terrors and the Impalers in the center. Okay, I think I've got enough power here to deal with this. So I need some support to deal with this while I wait for that stuff. I've only got really 1 or 2 turns before the stuff comes from the other side. And that's why it's a mistake you see on that side. So I faced my Crone this way and my Impalers there. They've got a 13-inch charge. So these guys can't come down with Wild Abandon as far as they want because I'll be able to see you and charge you. I've probably got, I think these guys are for a Mind Fog and a weakness to try and take off this Tidal Swarm. But you can see the Arc template there. And exactly the same as my last opponent, I've been able to hop a little Phantoms unit over and look down the flank, which is a nasty place to be. So happy about that. That's my weakness, and yeah, it's done 2. I don't know if the Mind Fog got off. I didn't kill him, so it's on to Florence's turn 1. So, yep, faced with that, she's decided to say, well, do you know what? If you want to charge my Placoderms in the flank, you can. I think what we're saying here is I can't see these Worm Riders here. I mean, I'd have just said, charge me. They don't care. They've got regen, and I'm not going to kill them in 1. Even with 24's attacks on 4s and 4s. Well, that'd be 6 wounds. Oh, I'd need to roll a double 6 twice. So, anyway, she hid them. And she said, you want the Placoderms, have the Placoderms, and then you get eaten. Right? And she's turned the Tidal Swarm around to start spraying me with her Tidal Spray. I do have Stealthy, though, so I'll be taking that. In the centre, just kind of pushed up, and then pushed up very hard on the right-hand side. So there are these Dam Busters looking this way, which is nice to kind of try and get any flanks if I come in. You've got Plaques in the back, and you've got Plaque in the back. You've got Ector on the side there. However, she's given me lots of charges here, which I'd be mad not to take. So what is that? Oh, those are Bark Skins. There's 4 Bark Skin onto that unit. So can't have this high. She said I've got 4 Bark Skin on them off of 5 dice. Have at me, bro. 1 Bark Skin there. How many Bark? Oh yeah, because that's Command Dice Bark Skin. They get extra Bark Skins. They're up to 2 extra Bark Skins. They're giving it to both of these guys because, Trident Realm are broken. So, and that's the shooting. So you can see that these Phantoms have been wind blasted by Ector back. Taken 2 wounds. 3 wounds onto these guys from the Trident King, and they're okay. Off we go into my turn 2, and we bring the pain. So, in we come. Essentially, I couldn't get everything in that I wanted to get in. However, I can get my unit in for Dread. I can send my Soul Flayers into this Tidal Swarm. I don't care if they die or don't die. They're just there to kind of chill and have fun because there's not a lot that can get them. And the Phantoms, even pushed back, we just jumped over and plopped here so that the Placoderms are stuck. And then we sent both Mutants into this unit. Now, that's 40 attacks. We are ensnared, so on 4s, but with Elite. So let's say 23 attacks. Yeah, like that. 22, 23. And then on 2s. So it should be 22, 21 wounds. 4 Bark Skins, she'll still be 18, 19 wounds. Enough to kill them, right? Especially with Dread. So pretty confident about that. And again in here, so we sent the 1 Terror into the Coral Giant because that blocks him up. Can't see over me, can't do anything, stuck. And then Terror and Impalers into these Ensnarers with only 1 Bark Skin. So we're not as powerful because although we have 20 attacks from the Terror, there's no Elite there. 18 attacks here with Elite, both crush 1. So let's do the maths again. So they're both on 4s. So 18 attacks on 4s, 9 with Elite. Let's say 11 hits. And then on 2s, right? So let's say 9 wounds. So 8 wounds, taking the Bark Skin into account. 20 here on 4s. Should be a straight 10, right? Maybe 8 wounds. So 16. We should be 16 plus Dread 17. Again, pretty comfortable that the Ensnarer should die. So I should be able to rip the heart out of the army in turn 2. These guys have just moved back a bit out of his charge, which isn't too far. And I've got a cover here in terms, he can move over that, but I'm not really that concerned at that time because if he does jump over, I'll just charge him with the Planar Apparition. You see my Phantoms, I've decided not to charge anything. Instead, I've just kind of moved into an even more threatening position. The Tidal Swarm can't see me. They didn't do any damage on there because of Stealthy. You can see I can't be seen here. These guys also can't see my Impalers. I'm just facing, so if Placoderms a rear charge is better than a flank charge, put it that way. So just being annoying. Put some command dice in here to, what do I for? Yeah. What for? That was, to recover a wound. That's endurance. And accuracy, just to increase the number of wounds on this unit since it's got less attacks. Nice cards. Thank you, Direct Misfire. I know why Fast Spell is sitting there. I think I just put it down by mistake. Anyway, that's endurance. Yeah, so that's the first set of wounds. So remember we said 18, 19 wounds, possibly? I did 12 and didn't break them. So rolled very, very poorly on the central ensnarers, and then rolled like absolute dog crap on the other ones. So this one, there is no way it should have been this low. This is very disappointing. Palpable disappointment. That's just the worst turn of rolling you could ever imagine. This my maths is really wrong, and I don't think it is, because Florence saw that attack and went, "Oh yeah, you're going to break them," and I went, and then I just rolled 11 wounds, which is rubbish, isn't it? So yeah, decisive strike turn 2 wasn't very decisive, was it? I've been left in a bit of a pickle. So off we go. So yeah, this is how it ends up. So we get Dam Busters and Ensnarers plus a Trident King in the flank. Oh, by the way, I killed the old Tidal Swarm. Totally didn't expect that. Crazy with the Soul Flares. So yeah, everything gangbust. So I think we've got one here. And then I don't know which one, whether it's this one or this one, which one was attacked here. But the Trident King came in the flank of this one. Plax took on the Phantoms, obviously, and then Ector went into the side of the Soul Flares, stop them flying. And then over here, it was just counter charges. I think... I can't imagine she countercharged the Terror. It doesn't look like she countercharged the Terror, because if she didn't, she'd be down here, right? So that's probably not a great move, but... Regen down to 8 from that... what was the other side? Regen. Yeah, regen down to 7. So 11 down to 7... 12 down to 8. She's moved these Worm Riders back so they can see the Impalers. There's lots of command dice going on. Not sure what's happening. Yep, so move these guys back. These guys then came forward. You can see it's still a flank. And she's brought the Tidal Swarm around. So we're going to carry on dancing for a little more. Phantoms died, not surprising. 3 wounds on a Soul Flare, they're okay. Yeah, first mutants down, so not surprising. Discovered, of course, Chariot bases are a bit bad for reform, so Trident King's going to get flanked. And everyone died too, so yeah. Both mutants died, pretty much for nothing. Just really depressing. 6 wounds. They died, 2 mutants died for 6 wounds. Sucks to be me. Anyway, Dan Busters move backwards. 6 wounds from the Coral Giant onto my Terror. He's feeling fruity. 3 wounds from the Ensnarers onto my other Terror. He's also feeling extremely fruity as Cthulhu. Into my turn 3. So what can we salvage out of this situation? So obviously she moved her Plaques forward. So I took the flank with my Soulbane. Probably not the best move. They are defense 6 and he's crushed 2, but you know, we'll see what we can do. I've mentioned that her Dambuster Sentinel had come right over here, and as I said I would, I just chucked the Planar Apparition into it. I've given them a strength to make sure I wound. I've given an accuracy to this guy to make sure he hits. We've got a weakness that's going to go either here or here, I haven't decided. We take the flank on the Ensnarers with these Phantoms, who had a lovely line of sight. We don't really care, because what this does, it serves 2 purposes. One, they're not ensnared, and it's 24's attacks on 4s and 3s. So it should be 12, 8, 9 wounds, which is pretty tasty. It also means I can then turn and shield against these horrific Worm Riders with the Phantoms being chaff. You know, that's what they're for, right? Which allows me to get time to get things kind of in place. Because I had my Terror, this Terror was facing this way, but could see the flank of the Coral Giant, it just kind of casually turned and flanked the Coral Giant. So we've got front and flank. We're only on 12 attacks because we don't have Rampage. We don't have Slayer, we've got Rampage. However, that's an enormous amount of attacks, albeit with Crush 1. How many tournaments? 8. No, it's 12 plus 24, right? Don't make me do maths live. It's embarrassing. 40 something, right? It's a lot. 12 plus 24 is not 40 something. 12 plus 24 is 36. Wow. Yeah. So it's 18 hits, right? And then on 4s. 9 wounds. Not likely to kill. But we did it anyway, so screw you. I wasn't doing maths live because that's how slow I am at doing maths. I'm not very clever on math. That's just for American friends. So yeah, we take a front and a flank onto the Trident King. So this is the Soulbane on Nightmare into the front, and the Soul Flayers into the flank. You'll notice they're the same model because I've just plucked this one off one of these bases to make an extra Soulbane. Well done me. So that allows me to then turn my Soul Flayers this way to chaff off these guys, while my Impalers come back into these pesky Ensnarers who didn't die, who won't die. Why won't you die? Why can't I kill you? So over here, weakness goes onto them. So I chose that as the target, so that this Soulbane can chaff them for a lot longer. We do get a wound off on this guy, which is great because he can fly. Now he can't fly, and I'm the same size as him, so he can't see past me. And thankfully, we do kill those Ensnarers in the front, which is great. And I no doubt turn these guys around, but I haven't taken a picture of that. I'm not sure what I do with the Impaler Horde. I'd find out. Yeah, so we kill the Trident King, which is great because he's got auras and stuff. A pitiful amount of wounds here. 9 wounds they're now on. Still alive. Oh, look, we've killed the Coral Giant, though. So I think I rolled out of the box for the Coral Giant. I just rolled. Oh, no, because he's on 3s. I'm so stupid. It's not on 4s. It was 4s in the front. It was 3s in the flank. So 24 attacks on 3s. So that painful bit where you had to listen to my maths was wrong anyway, which says a lot about my maths, really, doesn't it? So we killed the Coral Giant, which is probably a better chance than I thought it was going to be. We back up these Impalers. We've got Phantoms facing off against these guys. So, you know, I've recovered a better situation in the middle, it's fair to say. This is a threatening unit, flying at speed 7. So, into Flo's turn 3. So, she takes a flank that I didn't see. So, she's instead wandered this. These guys have gone off to go and spend the rest of their game hiding in this corner. So, that's 1 point to Florence. I didn't see this flank, but I'm not devastated by it. I'm upset, don't get me wrong, but I'm not devastated. So they come down, take the flank onto my Soulbane, and then the Aquamage rams into the flank of my Phantoms with some Hosty Shadow Beast fun. Counter charge there, and these Dam Busters fly over the building because they can do that. But they don't turn, they have to go at the double to get that far, I think. So they can't turn, which is good. If they could turn, that'd be really bad for me. Ector comes in the rear of the Soulbane. These guys obviously counter-charge and charge from Placoderms into my Soul Flayers. This side's looking a bit desperate. Yeah, showed you that already. So 4 wounds from Ector to my Soulbane, he's okay. 2 wounds from the Ensnarers, who have regen back down to 5. God damn it. 3 wounds, so that Dambuster Sentinel's not doing a great job, but I'm glad. And of course my Soulbane absolutely carks it. And then there are some reform issues because the bases are so bloody big. Turn 4 for me, so these guys sidestep and they turn as far as they can. Turn 4 for me. So I decide that the Phantoms will come around the rear. We're going to carry on being irritating. The Terror simply steps sideways, essentially so that it can't be charged. So it got itself into a position that's very nasty for either of these guys. And I take my Impalers up here to take out the Thule Aquamage. It's a flank. It is hindered, but 18 attacks on 4s and 2s or 3s is still pretty good for that character. I need to get rid of him, and also it allows me to reform. And over here, so finally my other Terror, which if you remember is here facing that way, decides that enough is enough with these Ensnarers. You're dying now. My Soul Flayers died, by the way, to the Placoderms. So flank from a terror, that's 40 attacks on 3s and 2s. If you survive this, I'm leaving. It was something like I said. I took a wound off my Soulbane, who countercharged the Placoderms. Oh, countercharge? Just charged the Placoderms, I think. Yes, I'm glad. So yeah, rubbish. Another not great, possibly because this weapon is broken, but another poor round. Just slightly under average, I'd say. But I managed to waver that guy, which is not what you want. We do kill the Ensnarers, thank God, finally. And we turn these Impalers around because we've got the Dambuster Sentinels down there and we need to chase them down. We leave the Terror facing this way to deal with these Placoderms. So into Flo's turn 4, and this is what we're looking at. So, it's not a desperate situation. If you remember the control areas. Alright, so this one I'm really good with. I've got some Phantoms here. This one is pretty much Flo's because she's got some Tidal Swarm over there. I'm pretty good for the 2-pointer. This 1-pointer or 2-pointer for Flo is under threat because these Sentinels are here, but I have got some meaty units. So I've got good control of the battlefield at this point. I'm feeling pretty happy. So Placoderms come in with some accuracy onto my Soulbane. She does an enormously long movement. Yeah, if you look at where they were, I'm not sure they could have got there. I think this forest, I'm just looking at where they were, the angle here. I'm sure it's fine. So they went at the double to try and get, I guess, around the forest. The what's it called? Dambuster Sentinel, rather than continuing this ridiculous slap fight, just turned and came this way because obviously points into correct zones, and the Worm Riders came into my planar apparition. 5 wounds there from the Placoderms, who did not do a great job, which is very disappointing. But obviously, planar apparition got murdered, but now these guys are going to get terrored. It's terror for you. Into my turn 5. So this is how the battlefield is looking. Still feeling all right about it. I think, moving out of the Phantom's reach is probably wise. I'm still not going to take that Placoderm flank, which has been dangling in front of my nose the entire game. These guys should probably just go off over here and spend their game in that sector. This is annoying because I now have to reform, and then he's still there. Let's see if I can kill these. Let's see if I can get down here. Off we go. So we just turn around. Not a lot I can do about it. Turn around. Florence backed away an inch with them. That's why, to encourage me to do another hindered charge. We come in here. We bugger off over there. We come down here as far as we can. I really, really should have gone to the double there. I don't know why I didn't. I think I wanted to position so I could clear the forest, but I should have just gone to the double. Silly. Is what it is. And then we take the flank onto these Placoderms with my Terror. Yep, and the front here. And that double won them. So, yeah, pretty freaking... Oh, it's not a flank, it's a front. You can see I'm in the front. It's still 20 attacks, though, plus his 6. So 26 attacks on 3s. 20 attacks on 3s and 5s. So we put them 13 wounds. 13 wounds is a lot, right, with Dread, but I don't want it anyway. So those plaques don't die. Very annoying. Into Florence's turn 5. So, yeah, I've already shown that. So that's a counter charge, I guess, against something. Probably the Soulbane. And this did bother me a lot, because there is no way the Dambusters could have got this far, right? With 7. We were moving very quickly. There wasn't a lot of time left on clocks, right? So if you look at where they are, I don't think 7 inches gets you here with this movement. Personally, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I did say to Florence, look, you need to start marking your units before you move them. And she's taken that on board, which is good. But they've moved all the way over there. So this is why, if I'd have gone at double, this wouldn't have been possible. So I've really knocked myself there. So these guys are basically sitting here claiming this segment. Nothing I can do about it. Those guys moved down there. I didn't do bloody any wounds, apparently. Here. That's weird, isn't it? I don't know how many wounds I did, but it appears to be 1. Which would be crazy if that was the case. I guess it's 12 attacks on 3s. And then 4s. Wild. Regen is a thing. It's a hell of a drug. So they both come into my terror. The Soulbane will not die. Up to 7 wounds and wavered. And the Aquamage comes into my crone. Does 4 wounds. She's frankly insulted but not damaged. Yeah. So these guys do smash up my terror despite ensnare. Who cares about ensnare? Into my turn 6. So turn 6, it all goes to pieces. We've forgotten about the clocks at this point. We play half the turn on my clock of her turn, and we just kind of give up. I do clear out the placoderms. I move my impalers this way. She hops the sentinel over into here, right? And we end up like this. So I've put my impalers half and half so I can choose where I want them to be, and these guys are on all 4 flipping quarters. And I think the way that the game runs out, and really this is why I hate control, is that I'm not a clever guy, right? I can talk a lot. Talking is my main strength. Working out things is not, as you've seen, admirably illustrated in this battle report when I couldn't count on 2 hands with my socks off. But I can't work out how to put stuff where. I can't do the geometry of it, right? So I think I got this one. These guys are unit strength 4, don't forget, because of the Royal Guard formation. So they out unit strength my unit strength 3 guys here. That's critical. So I get this one. And I claim... Yeah, so I put my impalers into this one, thinking to cancel out these guys because they're both unit strength 3. And then Florence flew her Dambuster Sentinel into this section to claim it for herself. So in the end, Florence's score was, so Florence gets 1, Florence gets 2, Florence gets 1, Florence gets 1, right? So 2, 3, 4. Well, I can't even do it now. That's how embarrassing these stupid I am. So it's 5-2 to Florence in the end. Could I have won? Could I have won? The problem is all these flying units. I'm not sure I could. Well, I could have won if I'd bloody moved my impalers at the double, because then I'd just killed these guys and that'd be gone. If I'd have put my terror into this space, I think I'd had enough time and space to do. I would have got 2, 1, which is 3, and from us we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would have been a 4-3. So no. No, I don't think I could have won. So, you know, at the end of the day, it was funny. We spent a lot of time, and you know, the clocks are kind of long gone because we were just on different clocks trying to work stuff out. It's not right. The guy who was sitting at the table next to us doing some hobby, because we were at Mantic HQ, said, "I've never heard somebody trying so hard to get their opponent to win." Apparently, I was like really trying to work it. I got into the mental kind of repertoire of it, trying to work out how she could do it, because she had this unit was here, right, and she was trying to turn these guys and go this way, or turn these guys and go this way, or something like that, right? But I think these guys being unit strength 4 is critical. Yeah, whatever happened, this one was going to Florence, because even, well, that cancelled this one out, then neither of us get anything, but she still gets 1. Yeah, I don't think I can do it. She had enough mobile pieces left at the end, so yeah, well played. And she won the tournament with that. and has gone off to make lots of unit undo markers and stuff, apparently, because I was whinging about marking your units a lot. Unfortunately, losing that, so a turn of bad dice can do that when you're playing at that level, but it was a good game. And that was the end of the tournament. I ended up 4th, I think, which at the end of the tournament meant that I was, was I 3rd or 4th? 4th. I think I was 4th. Left me as best Twilight Kin player. But then immediately some other tournaments happened and I wasn't anymore. But for that brief heady moment, I was good. So that's that for this. That's hope you enjoyed this battle report. That's the tournament report. That's the end of the tournament. We will be back because this weekend is my tournament, which is the Birmingham Bull Run, the Iron Bull, which is the 1995 Command Dice tournament, where I will be taking Twilight Kin. Pretty much the same list, but pared down. There is a nearly identical Twilight Kin list there, so maybe we'll come up against that. I can tell you my first game is going to be against a lovely bloke called Heath and his nearly all scouting Empire of Dust. That will be fun to play against. Putting this out on the Saturday. So when this comes live, I will be playing Kings of War and TOing a tournament at the same time and maybe crying a little bit. So let's see how that goes. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know why you think I'm a garbage player. I mean, what I could have done differently would be useful. Let me know what you think of the list. Let me know what you think of, I don't know, the weather, something like that. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.